Right, this is a video for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel, registered VX07AYY. Car's covered 78,000 miles. The car's been very well looked after mechanically, got a fantastic service history. And as you can see here, it's finished in silver, but it's been equipped with a rear spoiler, the side steps on the side there. And what's really unique about this car is all the black bits on the car, like the bottom half of the front bumper, doors and rear bumper have actually been colour coded in silver, and it gives this car this really fabulous look. But I'll go around the car for you just to show you. Just excuse my shadow if you can, but it really does make a huge difference. It kind of looks better in the flesh than it does on the video, I'm afraid, but I'll do my best for you. Absolutely fantastic condition, it really is. So let's go around the front of the car for you. So just pointing out, by the way, normally when I do these videos I do them when we've cleaned the cars. This time I've done it as the car's come to us because it's come in so nice. I kind of wanted you to see it's in original condition. Got all lenses on the front there, all in really top condition. Just going to come get the shadow out of the way, and likewise on this side. Offside front wing, absolutely superb. Front tyres, got tons and tons of tread on it, and the alloy's in fabulous condition. There's just a minimal amount of curbing on there. Coming down the offside of the car, you've got the wing mirror housing, absolutely perfect, all good and intact. All the panel work's incredibly crisp. You've got the side steps you can see down there as well, but it is in superb condition there. Rear tyre, again, absolutely tons of tread, and alloy again really good, just again a minimal amount of curbing there. Rear wing, excellent condition. Again, I can't see a mark on there. And up there you can see the high level spoiler, and that really does set off the profile of the car really nicely. I'm just going to come around this way so I don't get the sun around me as well, if that's okay. So come to this side, near side of the vehicle. Again, front wing, really top order. Tyre again, excellent, loads of tread, and the alloy superb. Again, just a tiny bit of curbing on the outside edge of it. Panel work down this side, just as good as the other side. Wing mirror housing, absolutely clean as a whistle there. But it's really clean, tidy. Final wheel and tyre, again tyres, absolutely tons and tons of tread, and alloy every bit as good as the rest of them. It really is fabulous. On the back of the car, again, all in really top condition there. So overall on the exterior, I mean, it's a really cracking looking car. And it's got a really kind of lovely stance when you see it like that. You know, the standard silver one's good looking cars, but just that spoiler, side steps, and this colour coding really set this one apart. So coming into the boot area, absolutely massive boot on the CR-Vs. I just wanted to show you with all these, everything's intact here. So you've got the tonneau cover at the top here. So all there, you've got this middle shelf rather. And that you can just fold that up like that. Or what I tend to do with mine, I've got loads of these I've always had loads of these CR-Vs. They actually fit very neatly into this space here, to sit flat on the bottom. But given the fact we haven't cleaned this car, it is in extraordinary condition in here. It really is. Whoever's had this car previously has kept this car absolutely beautifully. So just coming to the back of the car now. Again, all in really good order. Just tiny little bits of wear on the door handles there, where people sort of grab them so the rings have touched on them or whatever. Huge amount of rear space in the back of these cars, absolutely massive, and it's all in really lovely condition. The car's fitted with a full set of Honda overmats on there. These rear seats can be reclined forwards and back as well, to give you extra space, but it's in top condition. Right, just coming to the front of the car now. Driver's door card here. Again, the only real wear of any notes just on the handle here, a little bit of rubbing on the paintwork there. But you know, it is tiny. Sill area is all in really good condition. Driver's seat, absolutely superb condition there. And the passenger seat, again, equally absolutely fabulous condition. It really is. Just looking up above, we've got this lovely big panoramic roof from the EX models. All you do is just press a button back, and it allows all this lovely natural light to come in the car. It looks absolutely fabulous, especially in daylight today. You can close it and it all looks absolutely perfectly. Right, inside the car now, just to quickly show you, obviously you've got the full owner's manual pack and the original Honda lock and wheel nut set there as well. Just going to try and get right here without the sun blinding us, but do my best. Let's try and go that way. There we go. The plastics are in very, very good condition. They really are. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pause the video and turn the car around. Right, that should be a bit better, because I really want to show you just how nice and crisp all the plastics are in here. It's in really fabulous order. Also got your sat-nav system that's all fully operational. Press a button there, then gets you access to your CD player and the CD drive for the sat-nav system itself. But again, that all works perfectly. What's lovely on these EX models with the sat-nav, pop it in reverse, you get this lovely crystal clear parking camera on there as well, which is again all fully functional. Just down below, nice easy controls, dual zone climate control, all works absolutely perfectly. And then we've got the Honda 6-speed gearbox lever there, and the leatherwork around there is all in really, really nice order, which isn't always the case on the CR-Vs. Coming down the middle, heated seats and the centre storage area, these all work absolutely perfectly. And coming across to the dashboard, you can see the rev counter is running there, no warning lights apart from fuel on the car, and 78,286 miles recorded at the time of this video. Auto lights, auto wipers, and then this multifunction steering wheel, audio top left, cruise control top right, and voice activation controls on the bottom left there. Controls for your electric wing mirrors, the power folding as well, just to show you, all working absolutely perfectly. But it really is in absolutely fabulous condition in the car here. I drove the car last night to do the video which is going to follow on from this one, and drives absolutely beautifully, which you'll find out. But overall, it's a rare find, this one, to find one as good looking as this and in as good condition. Alright, this is the road test video for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX diesel. Car's registered VX07AYY. Mileage currently on the car 78,268 miles. The purpose of this brief test drive is because basically we're now selling to people from all over the near continent and all over the UK as well. But we feel as companies it's right, if people are willing to make that effort and spend the time and the energy and money to come to us, the least we can do is to show you the car that you're looking to come and see or buy, so that if there's any issues with the car, I can let you know about them. But just to give you reassurance that if you're going to come to us, that the car is good and it's what we claim it to be. What I try and do in these test drives is to go through them in a the same kind of sequence of events that you would do yourself probably, and that is obviously start with engine, gearbox, clutch, that kind of stuff, and then just a sort of a general look around the vehicle in terms of kind of how it drives and what buttons I press and everything else. But also just a kind of just a feedback on the vehicle itself, because sometimes two cars can be the same in terms of kind of spec, but they don't always drive the same. So, but with that in mind, I always start with the engine. This is obviously the 2.2 i-CTDi diesel engine. With this mileage, it's not really done any great miles yet on the car. It's a wonderful, wonderful unit. This one, as they all are, generally speaking, is very nice indeed. It pulls really nicely from throughout the rev band. There's no kind of surges, there's no turbo lag. The car is sweet, it's quiet for a diesel. The only time you really notice it's diesel generally is it kind of the first and second gear, which even Honda can't mask, but at these speeds you generally wouldn't know. There's no warning lights on the dashboard related to the engine or anything else for that matter, apart from the low fuel light on there. But the engine itself starts on the button, settles to a completely even idle. There's no smoke, no rattles, no noises that shouldn't be there. So in essence, the engine, I simply can't fault it. The engine then drives through clutch and gearbox. Clutch on the car, I've just driven up the motorway and I've put my foot down very hard in sort of 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th to try and exhibit any sort of clutch slip or otherwise, or anything sort of that you would worry about. But there's none. The clutch is absolutely fine. It bites perfectly right in the middle of its travel, and is light in operation. Pedal itself is very smooth in actuation. That then goes through this really brilliant Honda gearbox. It's 6 speeds on the diesels. Really lovely gear change, very mechanical feeling, even though obviously it's got cables to the gearbox. Honda are masters at these kinds of things. They've just managed to get, you know, a real feeling of mechanical change, whereas some are kind of lifeless and sort of waft about. This one, you know exactly what gear you're going for. It finds its slot every time. And as an example of one, and again, they do hardly vary, to be fair to them, Honda. It selects every gear absolutely perfectly. Synchro mesh on the gearbox is spot on in every single gear. The gear you always want to worry about in any gearbox, including Honda's, would be second gear, because that takes most of the punishment, but it engages, as I said, you know, without fault. Steering on the car, light, precise. When I say light, it's sort of light because it's got power steering, but it's actually got a lovely kind of weight to it compared to some power steering systems which are utterly devoid of feel. But compared to a lot of these four-wheel drives which can feel big, this really does make the car shrink. This particular example, things I'm looking out for, as you will yourself, sort of wheel wobble, any tremors, any kind of wear through the steering. I genuinely can't feel a thing. It's incredible how well made these Hondas are, but it's got a lovely feel about it. There's, you know, up the motorway speeds, there wasn't a hint of vibration. Tracked absolutely bullet straight, and you know, it's an absolutely fine fettle. Likewise, the suspension, there's no noises coming through from the suspension which you wouldn't want to hear. You obviously hear, you know, when you go over a bump or a cat's eye or something. But what I'm looking for, as you will be, hopefully, will be things like kind of these little aftershocks where you get little shimmers or little rattles from underneath, which suggest that there might be a bit of wear in the, you know, ball joints or anti-roll bar links, and there's nothing. It's very smooth riding. All of this, I have to say, comes as no surprise given the way this car's been looked after. You know, they're kept on top of the aesthetics beautifully, which I'll come on to a second, but you know, the car does drive tight as a drum. It really does. When I drive at speed, I do tend to look at, or listen out rather, for things like sort of kind of wind rustle and hiss, in case, you know, there might be sort of a window seal gone, a windscreen seal gone, and again, nothing at all, nothing there. The whole car drives, as I said, very tightly indeed. Inside the car, as I pointed out earlier, no warning lights on the dashboard. All the gauges work absolutely perfectly. The binnacle, really lovely. It's a very typical Honda dashboard, actually, just really nicely marked, very easy to take the information in. And the rest of the dashboard, as you see here, including the sat nav, works absolutely perfectly. What the videos don't really kind of show up is just how crisp the plastics are in here. You know, we've noticed over the years with CR-V, they're a tough car, and their build quality is extraordinary. But even they, you know, they suffer at the hands of the little ones that, you know, because they are family cars ultimately, and quite often you find that you get in them, they might be scratched about a bit where they're just thrown bags down. My kids do it for a pastime. But whoever's had this car has kept it in quite beautiful condition. Even things like the steering wheel, all its controls there, really crisp looking, you know, kind of bordering on kind of factory fresh. Everything about it is that lovely feel. But this is the element, this is, you know, the car in its elements, you know, country A road or B road, and what it does so well, the CR-V, is it just goes through these corners in such an unflustered fashion, but the ride quality is really good with it as well. So I've had loads of CR-Vs. My wife's got one now, I've got one. So this is, you know, it's a busman's holiday really doing this, but it's exactly as they drive, and it's, you know, for kids in the back, they don't want to be sort of being swished from side to side. And you know, as I said, this one is a pretty much a perfect example when you drive it of what a CR-V should be all about. So, you know, I genuinely, and I always do, if I can find an issue with a car and the driver will tell you about it, but there's nothing that I can find on this car that should concern you or make you sort of question sort of coming to us 10 minutes up the road or overnight. It doesn't make any difference at all. Obviously, if I've missed anything out in this short drive, then I apologise. You know, do feel free to give us a call and just ask me a couple of questions, and I'm happy to answer them for you. but I just want to give you the reassurance, if you are going to come to us, then the car drives exactly as it should, and you'll be very pleased indeed.